Alrighty guys, we're back. Tech Tuesday again, and Cam, what do we got? We've got some, lock pawls, lock cylinders?
Lock pawls, lock cylinders, and at the end we've got ignition keys. Basically what everybody's got all these questions about to you and everybody that answers the phones.
All the time, people call us, hey, I need a new lock set, I need a lock pawl. Awesome. Which size lock pawl or lock cylinder do you have? Do you have the short, medium, or long?
I don't know.
They always say, not for sure. What's the difference? So we're gonna cover it today. It's mainly second generation Camaro and Firebird. We will talk a little bit about first generation and then some third gen stuff, but really mainly between the 70 to 81 Camaro and Firebird. So what do we got, Cam?
All right, so first things first, if you're gonna buy one or the other and you're in any way unsure, just buy both. Just if you're getting the long cylinders, go ahead and get the long pawls. If you're on our website and you go to any of these pawls or any of these lock cylinders and scroll down, you will see the corresponding pawl or the corresponding cylinder. What you really want to check is this shaft right here. You've got short, the long, which is just a itty bit longer, and then the long is pretty obvious. On the short one, you've got from the top of the cylinder to the top of the shaft, you've got 7/32 on average. This one is about 3/8 from the same distance, and this one from the same distance is about 3/4. Assembly wise, these two are going to be the same, your short and your medium. Your long is going to be a little different. On your short, you're going to have, this face is on the outside of the car. This gasket is on the outside of the car. And then you've got this tension arm that holds the lock to, or the outside face and the gasket to the outside, pushes it up so you get a seal. Then you've got this little guy right here. This is the same on short and medium. You're gonna get your pawl, put it on your lock cylinder, and then your clip is gonna go on the very top. It's got a funky little design on it, and so you'll see that it goes on the top like so, and then you push it until this little arm right here gets into the hole right there. So this little hole is where this middle tooth pushes down, and these two teeth push up. That's how the medium and the short are both assembled. Your long, however, is going to have a clip that looks like this. It's just a U clip. This is going to go down on your pawl. Your pawl is going to go down on your cylinder like so, and then this clip is going to just go on like that to lock this to the cylinder.
And that clip comes with the cylinders that we offer?
The clip comes with every cylinder set that we offer. The only difference is going to be if you buy a complete set, which comes with your glove box lock, your trunk lock, both door locks, ignition lock. All of those are always going to come with short cylinders, so you'll always need short pawls with those. But if you're like, man, I've got these cylinders and I don't know what pawls you need, then you got to figure out short, medium, long. That's Camaro world.
Yeah, so I mean, Camaro's easy peasy lemon squeezy. What's going on in the Firebird world?
Firebird is fun because Firebirds had Firebird specific locks and pawls. Here's an example of one of the Firebird medium pawls. You've got just one arm, basically two bends. However, a lot of the times your part shops, your warehouses, your O'Reilly's, AutoZone, Advance, all those kind of places will sell you a short cylinder, which will work fine, but you have to have Camaro short pawls on that Camaro short cylinder. So I would definitely 100% check what pawls and cylinders you have on your Firebird before you assume and order the Firebird pawl or the Firebird cylinder. Because you may have Camaro locks, which will look the same, but the guts are different.
Now Cam, you're speaking all this mumbo jumbo here. How would you know what your car came with from the factory?
That's the neat part, Owen. You wouldn't.
You wouldn't?
You have no idea.
That's just up to the GM assembly line that day?
So depending on where it was made, when it was made, what batch they got in that morning, you had multiple different manufacturers making multiple different locks for GM. They went back and forth over the years. Whatever was on the floor that day could have went in your car. It's really hard to tell. So if you're starting from scratch, always buy new. If you've got original locks and you want to keep those locks original but need new pawls because yours fell apart, that's when you need to start measuring shafts, looking inside, take your door panel off, look at the guts, see what you've got. Then we can help you keep your car as original as possible.
So to be on the safe side, you're saying if you're gonna go ahead and order locks, you might as well go ahead and order the lock Pawls. Go ahead and spend the extra $5-10 so you know you're gonna have a matching set.
Oh yeah. Sometimes it makes a difference. If you want to keep it as original as possible, more power to you. Some of these Pawls and parts being 60 years old, they get a little loose. Might as well replace them with new stuff.
What do we got going here? I got wires. I mean, what's this? This is some high-tech stuff compared to...
Yeah. All right, so keeping the trend of keys and questions we get, this is basically your 67 to 81. So like your 67 to 9, you're really only going to have short cylinders. And then from 67 to 85, you could have had short. 70 to 81, you could have had medium and long. Jumping up to 86 to 89 and 89 and 82 would have been a standard set of lock cylinders and Pawls, not a spread like this, so that's pretty easy. However, when you get up to 89 to 02 on your ignition, there's these cute little resistors on the inside of your key. You and your buddy at the school lot could have had the same cut key, but that resistor is going to cause your car to start with your key and not his key. So if you're like, man, I really want another spare key, or I lost my spare key. Let's say you already have an ignition and one key. You would take that key out, turn your multimeter to an ohms rating, depending on which one you've got and whatever you want, but 2,000, 20,000. You're just moving that decimal around. But what you're going to do is put one lead on one side of that key and put one lead on the other side of that key. This is a 0.52 ohm key, so if you're on 2,000, it'll say 522. Go up, you got 52. Go up here, 0.06. But basically, whatever one will get you closest to that 2 decimal reading. So if you wanted a replacement set, you would call us and you would say, I need a 0.52 ohms key. There's 15 different keys, I believe, and ohms.
That's protection right there.
But you would test this. If you buy a different resistance key, it will not turn your car on. And then vice versa, if you have a key and you're like, man, my lock is broken, it's not going to work, you got to buy the correct cylinder ohms for that key.
Alrighty, well, boom, that's it.
If you have any questions, feel free to call us at the number below. You're welcome, Jared. And we will answer any questions that you have on lock Pawls, lock cylinders, length of the shaft, ohm readings, resistance readings for your multimeter and your key if you are not sure if you have a bad cylinder or a bad key.
That's a wrap, and we'll see you guys on the next video.
Please subscribe, like, and leave in the comments what else you're confused about.
Tell us
and
your
we'll try
favorite
to
color
answer
in
it.
the comments or something,
Do that too.
Yeah.